Hello everyone, a very good morning to you. Welcome to Mugello. Here we are then with the championships done and dusted and completed. All the pressure is off. It's now the Finali Mondiali races in each of our categories. What it is, it's what we call the world final races, the gold roof races. It's to see who is going to become the world champion. Our regional championships are done and dusted. So whether it is Shell Am, Shell, whether it's Trofeo Pirelli or Trofeo Pirelli Am, all those titles have been sealed. It's now to see who will be the best in the world with our Finali Mondiali races. Points make no difference whatsoever. It's all about who can do it in one race. Track temperature 13 degrees, air temperature currently 14 degrees. As you can see, there's some dark cloud overhead, however. And I am told with the track conditions the way they are, we are going to be starting behind the safety car for our 30-minute plus 1 lap race for our Shell Am drivers. So front row will be Jan Sandman and Sven Schirmer, so P1 and P2 in the championship for Shell Am. And there is Jan Sandman, who took P2 in the championship. Will he be able to take the Finali Mondiali race and rescue something from his season? Not that P2 is a bad result by any means, but certainly right until the very last race, he and Sven Schirmer, as we can see him right now, he is the new champion. He and Jan had a real ding-dong battle in the Shell Am Ferrari Challenge this year. It's been awesome to watch. The spectators coming in to enjoy, I was going to say not the weather conditions we would have liked to have given them, but certainly in terms of really awesome racing. As we see Andrea Levy there in car number 170. Andrea Levy, who has had some success already this weekend, has qualified the car and goes from P3 on the grid ahead of Masaru Yoneda, who has also been very good, and there in front of Henrik Kamstrup and Norikatsu Shibata. Mugello Circuit then 5.245 kilometers. And a very undulating circuit, a circuit which really tests our Ferrari Challenge drivers. There is Masaru Yoneda, who I was talking about just a few moments ago, driver of the 114 car, and he has been very, very impressive this season. Sorry, this weekend, I want to say, was very impressive this season. But you'll see what he can do from his P4 starting position. It is Jan Sandman, Sven Schirmer on the front row of the grid, Andrea Levy and Masaru Yoneda. We're looking back from the Richard Mills safety car, and incidentally, you can just see the guy with the unfurled overalls there is our safety car driver, and Antonio Tamburini, who is a fine driver in his own right. He is driving our Richard Mills safety car this weekend here at the Finali Mondiali. Right, 30 minutes plus 1 lap on the board. That's what we've got to look forward to. And we're going to take a look at what happened and how the drivers managed to get into the position from a grid perspective for today's race, because of course they had to go through a qualifying session to determine who would go from where on the grid, and that is what we're going to see right now. Let's take a look at what happened in qualifying for Shell Am. So as the cars were released in qualifying then, Sven Schirmer, and do bear in mind that the qualifying for our Finali Mondiali races included not only our European drivers, but also some of our North American drivers as well. This is Paolo Scudieri going to the inside of Pino Frascaro. These are the highlights of our qualifying session. Jan Sandman, who ran so close to taking the Shell Am Championship this year, but was the bridesmaid in the end. And here you could see just 1 or 2 drivers not making it all the way through turn number 1. Shintaro Akatsu in the 115 car. Sven Schirmer absolutely determined to do the best he could in this qualifying session. He wanted pole position, however, he got very, very close to losing the car on those painted lines, and you can see just how frustrated he was. That was his driver coach, Andrea Gagliardini. But it was all about this man, Jan Sandman, who, having been disappointed, as was pleased to say Eric Chung was back. Yeah, Sven Schirmer. It was Jan Sandman at the moment at this stage that was P1 in the qualifying. You could see how treacherous the conditions were as Boris Gideon found the back end of the car overtaking the front end of the car. Alexei Komarov always entertaining in car number 199. And this was Sven Schirmer, and this was really his last opportunity to get a good lap in. Max Blancardi and Andrea Gagliardini, Sven Schirmer's driver coach, is having to accept that this man, Jan Sandman, who was P2 in the championship, was going to be P1 on the grid for when it came to the Finali Mondiali race, which is the race that we are going to be seeing in just a few moments' time. And there you can see the pole position award given to Jan Sandman. There is the grid as everything is getting together right now for this 30-minute race plus one lap. Luck is being wished to Paolo Scudieri there, down there on the grid. I have to say, I am delighted to welcome into the broadcast booth Arthur Leclerc, who is here and joining us for the entirety of this race. Arthur, GT World Challenge this year, I seem to recall?
Yes, GT World Challenge, Endurance and Sprint, and I'm doing as well the F1 development program.
And how's the season been, dare I ask?
It's been a bit tricky.
Okay, sorry.
Don't ask me those questions. Could have been better.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? And I often say this on the air. The thing is about this wonderful sport that we enjoy so much. It can be beautiful, but it can be a bit brutal as well sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Mugello Circuit in really, really tricky conditions. Now this, the Finali Mondiali race. This race, all the pressure of the championships for the Ferrari Challenge are done and dusted. The championships have been awarded and they've been won. I love this because it's real entertainment value for us as motor racing fans, that these Finali Mondiali races, World Championship races, one race, winner takes all effectively, and I call it the gold roof race, so it proves who is going to be the best in the world. But I would have said, I mean, walking around, I mean, the conditions are going to be tricky. We're going to start behind the safety car. Mugello Circuit, very, very technical. They've got quite a challenge in front of them. Forgive the pun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yesterday we did the hot laps with the 296 in those conditions, and I can tell you that it was really slippery.
Yeah.
So yeah, the conditions are not easy. The lines as well are really slippery.
Yes.
So let's say the best way to be fast will be really to avoid these dry lines, because it's slippery, and I would say even more to what I used to other tracks.
And the thing is, what we don't perhaps necessarily appreciate as much as some others do, particularly people like you, hugely competitive racing drivers, is they tell me that the minute you put one wheel off the tarmac and you're onto the painted stuff, which delineates the track, the level of adhesion is so different, Arthur.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, the paint is not a surprise. It's really, really slippery, especially in this condition. It's really bad, and even in dry condition, it's already different. So you can have a different kind of grip. Sometimes it's a bit more, sometimes it's a bit less. But on the rain, there is just no doubt. Everything that is paint, you try to avoid it. Overall,
I mean, what a fantastic position for you to be in. You are a Ferrari racing driver, and I have to say, as a broadcaster for Ferrari, there's only one thing better than that, and that's probably to be a Ferrari racing driver, and that's what you are. I mean, that's to be with this brand is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, well, I'm a big fan of motorsport before being a driver.
Of course.
I was looking Formula One with my family back, like, yeah, when I was 4 years old already. So yeah, I mean, it's just a pleasure. And when you are young, you always look at the red car, and now I'm part of the red team. So yeah, it's just something really special.
You and I were part last night of a huge celebration of an awards dinner, which, as I say, you were very much part of, and I try and liken it last night, and we'll see some images of last night at some point during the programs today. It's like the biggest music industry record do. I mean, it's massive, like 1,500 people there, a huge stage, huge production values, and it's all to celebrate everything that's great and good about the Prancing Horse.
Yeah, it was amazing. The events, the rooms as well, all the cars. I mean, if you are passionate, it's definitely the place to be. And yeah, to be part of this event, to see so many people, tifosi, and even people here for supporting the Ferrari is just great to see.
Okay, the race has got underway. The clock is ticking down already because when a race starts behind the safety car, it starts immediately. Now, here's the grid in full, which we will bring you, going from back to front. P25, Louis Peruscua. Going from P24 is Alex Fox, and then alongside is Tom Petramalo from North America. Yasuhito Fugai and Michael Owens go from P22 and P21. Alvaro Ramos and Maurizio Pittori, they're P20 and P19. It's Alexei Komarov and Stephen Earle, who go from the 9th row of our Finali Mondiali starting grid. Melissa Kozira, what a weekend she has had. 2 wins out of 2 starts, has Andreas Koenig alongside. It's Pino Frascaro and Fritz Muller on P14 and 13, with Shintaro Akatsu and Hassan Debussy on the 6th row of our starting grid for Finali Mondiali. Gabe Harib and Charles Chan are on the 5th row. They're P10 and P9, and Guy Favet and Paolo Scudieri go from P8 and P7. Norikatsu Shibata and Henrik Kamstrup, P6, P5. To the 2nd row of the grid, where we find Masaru Yaneda. He could be danger man from there. So could Andrea Levy alongside him. Sven Schirmer going from P2, and Jan Sandman is going from P1. Jan Sandman then, driver of car number 186. Let's hear from him now.
Morning from Mugello, this time again with a little bit of rain. Qualifying session went super nice. I was a little bit afraid of the traffic because so many cars on track. But my team managed the traffic perfectly, so big thank you to my 2 coaches and to the whole Kessel team. And yeah, I hope we do exactly the same in the race. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you to Jan Sandman, and the cars then behind the safety car. I am being told that the safety car is coming in at the conclusion of this lap. There is Max Blancardi, who is one of Sven Schirmer's driver coaches. And there, as Arthur has said, some of the Tifosi here to really enjoy this extraordinary event and the final day of the Finali Mondiali event. And this is the Finali Mondiali race, the first race of the day for our Coppa Shell Am drivers. So with the safety car, Arthur, only out there for 1 lap, the drivers, they'll be sighting, they'll be deciding where the grip level is, because they're going to be going for it once that safety car has come in.
Yeah, this lap is quite important. That's for the drivers to take the mark, to see the lines, where can I go, where can I not go, just to feel the grip, and this is crucial information before the race starts.
Thank you, Arthur, who is with us for the entirety of the race, I'm pleased to say. The Richard Mills safety car then is going to go around the final turn, the Bugina turn. It will peel off. It will be the responsibility of Jan Salmon to control the pace of the rolling start. You can see him weaving from side to side. He's gone now. He has accelerated. Sven Schirmer is going to try and anticipate that and hasn't done a bad job. Also, Andrea Levy staying with them. But I think Jan Sandman did that really rather well, because Sven Schirmer has not been able to take the speed around the final turn. We've got 1 car, Arthur, already having spun around on cold tyres, I guess.
Yeah, on cold tyres, and as well we could see that he was a bit on the outside. It's really when you cross this line that the car is the most slippery. So yeah, well done.
Arthur, this is something I want to explore with you, top racing driver. How on earth do you drive through this fog of spray?
At the moment it's still okay. There is not so much still water, but yeah, sometimes it's really tricky. You cannot see like 3 meters in front, and yeah, the conditions are quite dangerous. But they are doing really well.
Norikatsu Shibata is the driver that went around, and we've got a safety car already. I suspect that will be for the recovery of the Norikatsu Shibata car. So. Oh, how frustrating is that? No, it's not. It's for another car that he's off and in the gravel. I suspect that is at turn 1. It is Norikatsu Shibata. Forgive me. Different livery to the livery that he was running all weekend. That car is properly beached in there. And, oh, we've also got another car off, and I can't quite... That's Melissa Kozira, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the car of Melissa Kozira, Ferrari of Naples driver here, who's taken 2 wins this weekend. And that's really unfortunate. She is able to get the car going once again, but here we can see. Now, that was Norikatsu Shibata going. Now, that was at the conclusion of the, just as we were getting going. And, yeah, I mean, that car, the gravel trap, does what it's designed to do, and that is to really beach the car.
Yeah, it's to stop, and then unfortunately when you touch it, you cannot really go away. Yeah, maybe he could have turned right to try to avoid this gravel trap, but in this condition it's really tricky. A lot of people are coming in, and it was the safest thing to do.
Psychologically, psychologically, you've kind of psyched yourself up for the start of the race, and you've got everything together, you're in the zone, and then, you know, you've not even done half a lap and the blooming safety car is out again. I mean, does that feel, you know?
It's okay. In the end, it's the race, and I mean, every laps you are walking, even the safety car, you try to keep the tires in temperature. So you always focus on something. In the end, it's not like safety car. You are just cruising and
no, of course
happy
not.
to be there. So
No.
so yeah, there is always something to do, and yeah, you need to be in the zone at any time, especially in this condition, because it's really tricky.
What we have seen here in Mugello over the course of this weekend, where it has to be said weather conditions have been really, really tricky, is that the recovery teams have worked very quickly. They've got the cars out very, very quickly, and we've been in a position where we've not had the a safety car intervention for many, many laps. You know, they've always been able to get it cleared up very quickly, and we can go back to racing once again. So the order is Jan Sandman from Sven Schirmer and Andrea Levy, Masaru Yaneda and Henrik Kamstrup. They are the top five. Now, the cars that we have lost are Norikatsu Shibata. Now, I'm not sure whether Melissa Kazira was able to get out of the barriers and get going once again. If so, she'll have been able to join at the back of the pack, and I really hope that is the case, because she's had a stellar season and certainly a stellar weekend here in Mugello. Of course, this is all part of the Finali Mondiali weekend here at the Mugello Circuit. It's been a celebration of everything, and we've seen, you've mentioned Artur, you've been out there giving very lucky people hot laps. I mean,
I don't know if it's lucky or not, because looking at the amount of grip, yeah, is it indirect or?
That's Andreas Koenig, he's off. Now,
It's not a replay.
no, I think that's live, Artur, and Andreas Koenig is off. Let's get a replay of what's happened here.
I think I saw tires behind, so. Ah, yeah, same. Oh, he hit the wall.
Oh, that's such a shame. But there you are. I mean, that proves what you were just saying about, you know, we were talking about you doing hot laps and whether somebody's lucky to be a passenger alongside you, because grip levels are so difficult. But
yeah, everyone was saying it was really bad, the conditions. It's just really tricky. I don't know if it's the amount of rubber that is on the track, but like I said, it's really slippery, and we don't. I think the people don't imagine how much the conditions are tricky and really slippery out there. You have a really good grip on the outside of the corners, but as soon as you cross the line, it's really slippery, obviously, because there is the rubber, and that's why you see most of the mistakes is on the exits of the corners, because you have the trend to cross the dry line that is making the car slip, and unfortunately then.
see, this is something, and I've learned this from racing drivers like you, that in the wet conditions, the dry line is a nightmare. You have to use a different line completely, don't you?
Yeah, it's quite tricky, and as well, when you build the confidence on the outside of the corner, so you bring more speed, you obviously put a bit more throttle, you feel confident, and you always need to think where is the dry line, because when you cross it, obviously you lose a lot of potential from the car, and that's where accident happens, and that's the reason of the 3 incident that we saw.
Yes, scary, isn't it? We're looking on the pit walls as well as data is being analysed, of course, and we hope to go back to racing. We're not going to be quite as quickly going back to racing as we were, because of course we've seen the loss of Andreas Koenig's car, as well as he, around, I think it was the final turn, just lost the back end of the car and ended up in the barriers, because it kind of spits you out, really. So down there on the pit walls, and there you can see, that's a great shot actually of the final chicane before the last turn. Still no news about when the safety car is going to come in. Perhaps at the conclusion of the next lap. I would think we'll do one more lap behind the Richard Mills safety car. Then hopefully it will come back in and we can go back to racing again. This Mugello circuit, Artur, I've walked the circuit, I've cycled the circuit. I've never driven the circuit because I'm not a racing driver like you guys. But with the television pictures, we can't really fully appreciate just how undulating this track is. It's got some huge elevation changes, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is, but this is not specific to Mugello. It can be to Zandvoort, to Spa, to everywhere. Every time on TV is feeling a lot more flat than what it is. And yeah, I can tell you that there is a lot of elevation, especially in the Arrabbiata, where it's going really high, in Sector 1, where it's just going really low in Corner 6. So yeah, there is a lot of elevation. This is as well one over aspect to take in account when you are driving, because obviously you can gain a lot of grip and lose a lot of grip depending on the elevation of the track.
And again, that is something that the conditions at one part of the track can be actually quite different to the conditions at another part of the track because of that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, it's tricky, and more there is this small difference with the elevation bumps, but now it's wet, so more you need this adapting phase where you always need to work on it.
We have got just under 20 minutes plus one lap of this race. We are racing still, albeit we are behind the safety car with the clock continuing to count down. It is still a competitive race, but quite clearly there is no overtaking because we are behind the safety car. We're on board with Sven Schirmer, the Penske Sportwagen Hamburg driver, who is the Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell Am champion. He's taken the championship. He's already won the championship, so the pressure of the championship is off him. Of course, he would love to take the Finali Mondiali race as well, but he's P2 at the moment with Jan Sandman, his enemy, if you like, in the championship all season long. It's been so good between the two of them. But in the end, it was this man, Sven Schirmer, that was able to seal the championship ahead of Jan Sandman. But for the moment, the roles are reversed, with Sandman ahead of Schirmer. And there's some more people that are making their way into this Mugello circuit here in Tuscany to enjoy. Now, Arthur, we've got a red flag.
Yeah.
Now, that's really interesting. I wonder whether something else has happened.
I don't know. It can be anything. I saw two cars. So in front of the safety car, there was another car a bit further, which I hope is to check if the barrier is okay. And yeah, hopefully the driver is okay, because we saw that he hit the wall, not the tires, and this is making quite a big difference for the for the impact. Obviously, when you hit a tire, everything is absorbed. When you hit the wall, is a bit more tricky. So
inevitably, accidents and things happen in motor racing, and I've said this so many times. The integral safety of the 296 Challenge car is brilliant. Let's have a look at some of the other programs that have made up Finali Mondiali. You're looking at the paddock area here in Mugello, and Arthur, who's actually not only a top racing driver, he's become a reporter as well now, because I know you've sprinted outside to have a look from our studio down the start-finish straight, and I think the reason for the red flag is the recovery and just making sure everything's okay with the Andreas Koenig car. Yes?
Yeah, we saw that there was people around the car, so we just hope that everything is okay, the driver is okay, and that will be the most important. That's a procedure. When there is a red flag, it's mostly for the recovery of the driver as well. Maybe it can be as well the barrier, we don't know. So yeah, I mean, in the end it's a normal procedure, and we just hope that everything is okay.
Of course. Now, the safety of the tracks that we race on, again, you talk about the barriers there, and if the barriers get damaged, there's a whole team of people that are making sure the integrity of the safety barriers is maintained, and if there is any doubt whatsoever, they will be there and they will make sure that's put right before you're allowed to go racing again.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is safety first. I mean, we always check where the barriers, if it's damaged, or they cannot afford to drive with a barrier that is broken. So every time there is a small damage or there is a doubt, they change it, and that's the best, and that's as well why the motorsport is now a lot more safer than before.
And we have so many people to thank for that, and you know, we are so glad. Inevitably, things do happen, and we have a red flag on our first Finali Mondiali race, which is for our Coppa Shell AM drivers. Jan Salmon leading the race, 1.2 seconds to the good of Sven Schirmer, who, of course, has won the Shell AM Championship for this season. We're looking at the Andrea Levy car number 170 here. Andrea Levy inside the car, and I always find it amazing when you look at these 296 Challenge cars. So much technology, so much safety features. For example, in the 296, you don't have a rear view mirror because there is a big safety bulkhead behind the driver. So actually, we have cameras in the rear of the car which project the rear view image onto a screen, which is mounted on the dashboard, which every racing driver tells me actually gives us a far better view than any rear view mirror would ever do. So those are just some of the features and innovations that are put into these cars. And I talk to design teams and racing drivers like yourself, Artur, and Ferrari are really good at taking information from drivers and allowing those facts and that feedback actually to form part of the design process.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why as well Ferrari is obviously the feedback of a lot of drivers, a lot of champions, obviously, because yeah, a lot of champions goes to Ferrari and went to Ferrari in the past. So yeah, it's all this feedback of the best of the drivers, and yeah, that is reunited to make the best car. And yeah, to have this rear camera, like you said, is quite a good help. It's better than the mirror because it can be really precise, especially when you fight. So you can know if the car is having one part in front of you, in front of the car, so you can just close the door a bit easier. And as well, I mean, it's just a bit more comfortable to have this rear camera.
Okay, while we have a moment in hand, I can ask you some of the generic questions that broadcasters like me always ask racing drivers, and you hate us for it. Favorite track, Artur?
Favorite track? Actually, Mugello is really nice.
Okay.
I really like it. I won some races there, especially in Formula Regional. I have really good souvenir with really tricky conditions, and yeah, I really like this track.
Favorite food?
Favorite foods? Pasta.
Can eat pasta every day. You're saying all the right things, aren't you? That's brilliant. I'm just, let me interrupt our little generic questions to tell you that Andreas Koenig is perfectly okay. We're hearing the information that he's out of the car. He's perfectly okay. So Stephanie, his wife, and his family are here this weekend as well. You'll be pleased to hear Andreas is out. He's perfectly all right. So yeah, that's great to hear. Great to hear.
As well, it shows once again that it's really safe. Those cars are really safe, so great to know.
So there we are. Let's take a look at what we've seen so far in the Ferrari Challenge during 2025. Right, we are being advised that the race will resume in 9 minutes from now. 9 minutes from now, the race will get back underway once again here at Mugello, our Finali Mondiali race for our Coppa Shell drivers. They're all lined up in the pit lane right now, and as I say, 9 minutes from now, they will get going again. We're looking back from the Richard Mills safety car. And there's confirmation on screen that the race will be resumed at 9:30. Looking back from the Richard Mills safety car at the leading driver, Jan Sandman, who drives for Kessel Racing. So the Ferrari Challenge, as you've just seen there in that clip, extends around the world, a real global championship. We race here in Europe, we race in North America, in Japan, in Australasia, and in the UK too. And from next year, we add the Middle East with a Middle Eastern region for the Ferrari Challenge as well. So very much not to look forward to during the course of the next years in the Ferrari Challenge. Right now we take a look at the highlights thus far, and on board the Richard Mills safety car. The car's then released. You can see the spray, and unfortunately it wasn't many moments before Norikatsu Shibata found the gravel trap, which brought out the safety car, and Melissa Kozira coming out of turn 1, also meeting the tyre barriers, and that a problem, and that was Andreas Koenig going in, and that brought about the red flag. I hasten to add, all drivers are perfectly okay. All drivers are perfectly okay. It's just barrier repairs that have got to be done before we can go back to racing in around about 7 minutes from now. We were having a nice chat with Arthur Leclerc, who is with us, and we'll be resuming our conversation in just a few moments. But the Finali Mondiali event is about so much more than just the Ferrari Challenge racing. We have F1 Clienti here. We also have our XX programs too. So we're going to be seeing some of the XX programs activities. And of course, we have today the huge Ferrari show, which is put on as part of Finali Mondiali. The Ferrari show will be taking place here during the course of this afternoon, and even in the privileged position I am, I've not seen the running order for the Ferrari show yet. They keep it a closely guarded secret. There's always some surprises, and big surprises at that. And as I said last night at our glittering award ceremony and dinner, the one thing that you can always expect from Ferrari is the unexpected, because all sorts of things happen and surprises come along. Let's take a look inside the cars then. Ferrari Challenge. And there's some of the spectators enjoying, at the moment, a red flag, so there's no track activity. But we will be going back to racing in about 6 minutes from now. Only 6 minutes to wait, and then we will be back with the Richard Mills safety car, taking those cars away. And it will be the responsibility of Jan Salmon and Sven Schirmer to control the pace of the rolling start, the restart, if you like. So we're looking at the back end of the 303 car there, one of our North American drivers, and that's Michael Owens for Ferrari of Alberta. As I mentioned, the global appeal of the Ferrari Challenge as a racing series. There's confirmation on screen there that race will be resumed at 9:30. The global appeal of this Ferrari Challenge One Make Series is huge, and we now see so many young drivers using the Ferrari Challenge as a springboard to further their careers in motor racing. So and one of our three of our Ferrari factory drivers are living proof of that, Thomas Neubauer being one of them and Niklas Nielsen being another. Let's enjoy the XX programs now.
Ferrari per i clienti sportivi ha creato un dipartimento che ormai è una realtà da qualche anno, si chiama Corse Clienti.
XX program is about our passion.
Well, thank you very much for being here. I must say you're very fortunate people, because you are soon going to enjoy the best car ever.
It's the very best client experience.
It's an incredible car, so much power, so much fun to drive, so much you can adjust.
It's always a pleasure, like a coach or tutor, to see someone arrive with a big dream and realize it.
The Ferrari factory has provided us with the FXX and the 599XX to fulfill that dream.
It's one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life.
It's a global experience.
I can't describe how special it is.
To shape the experience for tomorrow.
And it's family at the end of the day.
This is one of the best event and program you can join in all over the world in your life.
And all the extracurricular things that we get to do, it's unbelievable.
We've only got 3 minutes before we go back to racing. Artur, I've had the privilege, I don't know whether it is a privilege, of having a hot lap in one of the XX program's cars, and FXXK Evo,
nice.
where I was propelled around the Indianapolis circuit like a speeding I don't know what. What really impressed me was not only the acceleration of these remarkable laboratory cars, but in racing cars, what I find the most gut-wrenching almost is the braking power you have, the ability to stop these cars almost on a sixpence.
Yeah, I mean, it's really powerful. Actually, I never tried the FXX, so I cannot tell you a lot more.
Right,
but,
okay, it's scary.
from what I hear every time is that it's a great car to drive, and yeah, it's just you get some feelings that you don't get in a road car. So it feels really fast. Yeah.
Yeah, no, amazing. And as I say, that was an experience I will never forget, and a huge thank you to James Wyland, who's one of our North America racers, that somehow what also surprised me is the fact they were able to shoehorn me into this car, because there's not a lot of room, do you know what I mean? And you've got to be... And the other thing is, you as a racing driver, when you are put into that car, your belts are so tight. I mean, so tight that you almost cannot breathe. But apparently that's absolutely critical, Artur, that you need them that tight so that there's no movement.
Yeah, it depends of if each driver. Me, I prefer to unleash them a bit. But not unleash
You're a
them,
rebel, aren't you?
no.
You're a rebel. I can sense this.
Okay, I drive without belt. But no. I prefer to unleash them a little bit. Then, obviously, I mean, for someone that is not used to, it might feel still really tight. And yeah, I mean, you need it to just be in contact with the seat at all time, because that's where you get the feeling. That's where you get all the small vibration, the small feelings of the car. So this thing is quite important.
My last question to you on our list of generic questions to Artur Leclerc here is, we've talked about food, we've talked about favourite track, music. What sort of music do you like? Come on, who's your favourite artist? Because it's somebody I'm never going to have heard of, I know. Because our age difference, there's like 60 years between me and you.
But yeah, so my favourite artists, actually me, I'm quite old school. So
Oh, okay, that's good.
Me, I really love Queen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you have surprised me.
Yeah, I guess because my father was listening a lot to Queen. So obviously, I mean, I have some memories of me when I was young that was listening Queen, and then yeah, of course, it's my favorite artist, and as well, like the way he's making the music is just genius. So
you're absolutely right. Oh, fantastic. Right. There we are. That little break went away very, very quickly as we go back to racing once again. And the clock is ticking down as the safety car has led them out of the pit lane, or leading them out of the pit lane. We are going to have around about 15 minutes plus one lap, assuming that the safety car comes in at the conclusion of this lap. Antonio Tamburini then is the former race car driver who is driving our Richard Mille safety car. And hello, good morning to you. Welcome to Mugello. and this fantastic Finali Mondiali event. Looking back from the Richard Mills safety car at that is turn 1, where actually turn 1 is one of the more obvious overtaking places here at Mugello, isn't it, Arthur? I would have said.
Yeah, completely. I mean, it's after a long straight, so first you get the oh no.
That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate, and I think
we'll get.
I think that was Masaru Yaneda.
Longer safety car. Once again, is this dry line is really but he went again on track. He didn't hit the barrier, so it's a good news.
Well done.
We'll be able to restart the race.
Well done, well done, well done. Masaru Yaneda, driving that 114 car, has been able to get the car back out onto the track again, because there is a saying, isn't there, in motor racing, that safety cars have a habit of breeding further safety cars, because of course everyone gets bunched back up again, and it's like the start of a race all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's making back the racing. Obviously, when you are racing, it's a bit more tricky to follow, especially because those cars are generating a lot of downforce, and yeah, there is this dirt here which is limiting you to stay behind. But yeah, to come back to you in T1, obviously it's after a long straight, so you have this big toe, so you can be closer, and yeah, I mean there is a long braking zone as well. So
now that was really innocuous. Arthur, you know, the back end of the car just seemed to step out. Is that just being a little bit too brave on the accelerator?
Yes, a little bit too brave, and I think once again is this dry line that is really slippery. And the thing is, you have to reset your brain every time. Let's say you go in the corner, you have like a really good feeling of grip because you're on the outside. But then when you cross this dry line, you need to really be careful. And we saw a lot of drivers today that lost it like that.
And of course, with no rain coming down now, presumably the track is beginning to dry in places. Yeah. Therefore, this track is evolving almost every lap, isn't it, Arthur?
Yeah, we can see now there is no spray. I mean, the amount of water on track is really low, so it's getting drier. And I almost think that before the end of the race, I mean, we'll see some dry patch, and the fastest tire will be the dry. I don't know if someone will take the risk to put the dry because because still there is some water. You can see the spray now here. So yeah, it will be a bit too early, and in 15 minutes will be tricky.
My last question before I give you a bit of a rest, because you worked so hard on my behalf and I'm grateful to you, is that when you are driving in these conditions with wet weather tyres, you need to keep those wet weather tyres wet, don't you?
Yeah, of course, because yeah, the amount of tires that is in contact with the ground is really low, so a lot of temperature, and this temperature are working in a lower range of temp.
Sven Schirmer is going to go for it now at the restart of this race. He is absolutely determined to be P1. He is tracking Jan Sandman for all he is worth. Who's going to be king of the late breakers? And on the inside line here, Sven Schirmer. He is denied by Jan Sandman. Is Jan going to be able to get the car rotated? Sven Schirmer takes a slightly different line, and I think he was enforced to do that because the speed that he carried through turn number 1, but certainly along the start-finish straight, he was making his intentions quite clear to Jan Sandman. I'm coming through, friend. He's not been able to do it yet. Will he have another go on the next lap? Let's see. Jan Sandman, though, is trying to break away right now and has done so by over a second as they go into the chicane now. Try and keep the car on the tarmac, avoid those curbs and painted lines which are oh so slippery. It is Jan Sandman from Sven Schirmer and Andrea Levy. Then it's Henrik Hamstrup, Paolo Scudieri, Guy Favre, Charles Chan, Gabe Harib from the United States of America is up to P8. Then it's Hassan Debussy and Shintaro Akatsu. Paolo Scudieri and Guy Favre then having a great battle here. This is for P5. And just ahead of them is Henrik Kamstrup in the all-blue car. Guy Favre just taking a look at the inside. Now, Guy is something of a Spa-Francorchamps specialist and actually looking like he could be a Mugello specialist here as he once again goes side by side with Paolo Scudieri. Here at Mugello, has he done it? I think he has. So through goes Guy Favre. Can he hold the car though? They were sideways. He was having to use opposite lock as the car slid around. But Arthur, that was great car control.
That was great car control. Yeah, to lose it in the entry like this, I mean, it was quite. He pushed a lot, which is the best as well because he's putting some tire temp. And yeah, was a great move.
Well done to Guy Favre. Then here he is. Driver of car number 120. He was outstanding at Spa-Francorchamps earlier on in the season. Well, in fact, it was the last race event in the Ferrari Challenge before we came here to Finali Mondiali. And yeah, once he's got the bit between his teeth and he's determined to make an overtake, so he does it. But he did have to control that sliding car. And Paolo Scudieri is the very car that he has overtaken in strife now, and it looks like that's the end of the race for Paolo Scudieri, which is sad to see. Paolo's had a tricky season, it has to be said. He's normally a regular podium placer, but this year it's just hasn't been his year, and sometimes you go through that. So Jan Sandman continuing to lead Sven Schirmer. Andrea Levy right out wide in turn number 1, and Henrik Kamstrup as well, as we have a yellow flag at turn 12. I suspect that will be for the Paolo Scudieri car, but they'll be able to push that back behind the safety barriers, I would think, and that yellow flag will be lifted. So Sandman, Schirmer, Levy, Kamstrup, Guy Favre, Charles Chan, Gabe Harib is the best of the North American drivers. He's running P7. Here is our race leader, And now we have another beached car. The Charles Chan car is in the gravel. And I regret to say, Artur, we know what this means.
Yeah, I think it will be a safety car. Yeah, safety car now. So, yeah, it's tricky. I mean, the conditions are really tricky, and we don't get so much racing, unfortunately. But I mean, that's what you get. I mean, conditions are tricky, you have more spectacle, but in the other hand, you have as well a bit more incident and a bit more safety car.
As a racing driver, how frustrating and how deep do you have to dig when you're leading the blooming race and you get so many interruptions? I mean, that's a real test of your character and your steadfast ability to just focus on what you need to focus on.
It's okay in the end. I mean, of course, when you create this big gap and you're P1 and you get a safety car, it's a little bit annoying, especially because it's mixing as well the strategy, and you don't want that when you are leading. You want a really smooth race, calm race, and that you can control. But by example, for the P5 or P10 or P15, let's say in endurance, you would like these cars to try to come back for the win. You would like these cars to try to do something different of the strategy and to come back in the game. So yeah, it depends which perspective you have. But yeah.
For this guy that we ride on board with, it's another gift, potentially, Sven Schirmer, who will have maybe another opportunity to try and wrestle away the lead from Jan Sandman. And I always make this expression that sometimes for these safety cars, it enables the drivers maybe in P2 or P3 to kind of rub their hands with invisible soap and think, here we go, here's another opportunity for us here, because they're able, of course, the gaps are all nullified when you get a safety car situation. So the safety car is back out again. We've got 10 minutes plus 1 lap, or just under actually. It's 9 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. Hassan Debussy you can see there, and just behind Hassan Debussy, very good showing from Pino Frascaro. We can see the chart of progress. Up 4 places, Guy Favre. Up 6 places, Hassan Debussy, who's engineered and coached by Daniel Mancinelli. Pino Frascaro is up 8 places, with Shintaro Akatsu and Fritz Muller also moving up. Matsuri Yoneda did recover the car and only lost a few places, so it was good job done by him, to be truthful. So there you can see drivers weaving from side to side to try and maintain some temperature into those Pirelli wet weather tyres. The Kessel Racing driver, Jan Sandman, is the driver that will feel most disadvantaged by dint of the fact that he'd already built up a bit of a gap, and that gap has once again been nullified by the introduction of the safety car. I have to say, Artur, that for these Coppa Shell AM drivers, these are AM drivers, actually, I think, credit-worthy. Their driving standards in extraordinarily difficult conditions has been really, really good.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's already, these conditions are already really hard for pro drivers. So for an amateur, it's just great to see that everyone has quite a good car control as well, and they manage really well in those conditions. So, yeah, well done.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. And this is Pino Frascaro, the driver of the 140 car. Now, Pino's wife, Mrs. Pino, and I don't know what her Christian name is, so she's been known by me as Mrs. Pino forever and a day. Okay. In the paddock is the loveliest lady, because she brings to every event this enormous box of Swiss chocolate, which she then generously gives to everyone in the paddock, do you know what I mean? And that she's responsible for the belly. There is Mrs. Pinot. To the left-hand side of your picture, there is Mrs. Pinot. She is the responsibility, and for my belly being the size it is. It's this lovely Swiss chocolate that she brings to every event. They're lovely, lovely people.
Try to put more weight in the car of the opponent. She's really clever, I think.
Well done. And Pino Frascaro. The characters we meet in the Ferrari Challenge are fantastic. Right, safety car is coming in this lap. Get back on the script, Dave. So it is the responsibility of Jan Sandman to control the pace of the restart. Now, presumably, Arthur, he'll be thinking of going somewhere different now because Sven Schirmer is used to where he normally goes.
Hey, he went really early. I wonder that I hope he will not catch the safety car before the pits.
Oh my goodness, yes, he is quite close, isn't he?
Yeah, but in the end he did quite well. I think he surprised the P2. It's right on time, so he's been really good on this one.
So let's go back to racing again. Good restart from Jan Sandman then. As we get the greens, we've got 6 minutes plus 1 lap. Cars coming past the Faye speed camera right now. Here is Jan Sandman, and you can see Sven Schirmer really trying to narrow that gap under braking going into turn number 1. Who will be able to make a move here? Hassan Debussy and Guy Favre. They're running P4 and P5 ahead of Pino Frascaro and Shintaro Akatsu. Then it's Fritz Muller, Masio Yoneda. Then it is Gabe Harib in P10. So Hassan Debussy really taking it to Guy Favre right now. The multicolored 296 challenge car of Hassan Debussy, who I first met during one of the Winter Challenge events in the Middle East. And Hassan Debussy, I think this is his 2nd season in the European Ferrari Challenge, and what a great addition to it he has been as well. And he is certainly piling the pressure on Guy Favre for P4 currently. So let's see if Hassan Debussy is able to maintain that pressure and try and motivate a small mistake from Guy Favre. Meantime, Sven Schirmer, his attitude has had to go away from attack and more to defense because Andrea Levy is getting closer to him. This plays into the hands nicely of our race leader Jan Sandman, who is 3 seconds up the road because Sven Schirmer is having to make his car a bit wider here because Andrea Levy is taking quite a look at that, and Andrea Levy would certainly rather have P2 than P3 in this. 4.5 minutes remain plus 1 lap of this Finali Mondiali race. Andrea Levy now, for my money, Arthur, is really putting the pressure on Sven Schirmer.
Yes, 9/10 is not really a comfortable gap, so yeah, Schirmer will try to do the best to create this small gap and to be a bit more comfortable with P2, and this as well is affecting the gap that there is between P1 and P2. If he's under pressure, he might do a bit more mistakes, under push, a bit of a push. Oh, nice overtake.
Wow, Hassan Debussy, he's got a bit between his teeth this weekend. We've seen some brilliant driving from Hassan Debussy, and he has gone through on Guy Favre to pick up P4. Brilliant driving. And Pino Frascaro now taking a very wide line around turn 1, and Guy Favre also taking a wide line around turn 14. Sorry, not turn 1. But here comes Guy Favre. Is he going to come back at Hassan Debussy? Is Pino Frascaro just going to pick up the pieces of both of them? Maybe going into turn 1, which is where they are heading. Bit more spray being lifted now. Hassan Debussy very wide. Is he on the painted lines? Guy Favre trying to get underneath the 111 car. He's not quite been able to do it. So Hassan Debussy maintains, but now Guy Favre tries to repeat what Hassan Debussy did to him on the last lap, but has not been able to do so. Andrea Levy getting closer once again to Sven Schirmer. And because the sectors are all quite different here at Mugello, we see some drivers that excel, if you like, in different sectors to some other drivers.
Yeah, it's quite different. There is some corners, some sectors where there is this really high speed, which is the sector 2, sector 3, and a bit lower speed in sector 1. So yeah, I mean, everyone has his preference. Depends as well how the car is set up, and yeah, once again, the conditions are so tricky that they are doing really well.
There he is, as we split the screen. Max Blancardi and Andrea Gagliardini, they are driver coaches to Sven Schirmer, who is currently P2. We're riding on board with Sven Schirmer, looking back at the car that is pursuing him, which is the car of Andrea Levy. And there is Babalus, who is also one of the driver coaches as well. And you can see Andrea Levy pushing hard and trying to get on terms with Sven Schirmer. We're beginning to run out of time here because we've got just under 2.5 minutes plus 1 lap of the race remaining. Sven Schirmer, the car that we look at now, is running in P2. Jan Sandman with a margin, Arthur, of 5 seconds since that last safety car. I mean, that's a huge margin he's built.
Yeah, he's doing really good, and as well, like we could see, the driver coach has a really crucial impact on the drivers, as they can see the lines of the others, and yeah, to try to report it to the drivers to try to improve their approach here.
The reason I'm smiling to myself is because the driver coaches for these drivers do such an important job. You're right. For Sven Schirmer, this man, he has 2, and the 2 most enigmatic, characterful Italian racing drivers that you could have in Andrea Gagliardini and Max Blancardi.
Yeah.
And then Jan Sandman, his driver coach, Charlie Hollings, a British racing driver, who is the most cool, calm, collected. You know, so even with driver coaches, you know, the character traits are completely different, Arthur, and actually they work because it works for different drivers in terms of the motivation they need. At the moment, the motivation Sven Schirmer needs from Andrea and from Max is to make that car a bit wider.
Yeah, it's really important, especially in those conditions, because I mean, you can be on the limit on the lines, and if you don't take the good lines on the wet in those conditions, you can lose easily 2 seconds. So already to advise them on the lines, you can make a huge difference, and yeah, that's what their job are for this weekend.
So Jan Sandman's lead is now 6.2 seconds because, of course, as Sven Schirmer is having to defend, he has been able to escape up the road, and that's precisely what he has done. So 30 seconds plus 1 lap remaining, and depending on when Jan Sandman crosses the timing line as to whether we'll get another lap in, you can hear the acceleration of these 296 Challenge cars, and now Andrea Levy is going to line Sven Schirmer up, probably for a potential overtake either through the chicane or more likely into the final turn, I would suggest. So let's see what Andrea Levy does. We track him now from the second to last turn, going around this right-hander right now. Then there's the chicane, and then it's a potential overtake opportunity, although we've seen overtakes in turn 1 that have been set up through the final turn. So Andrea Levy is tracking Sven Schirmer. Hassan Debussy is getting ever closer as well. Oh, and oh my goodness me, Arthur. Well, that's a big save from both of the drivers.
Oh, no. What a shame.
Oh, Levy is in strife, isn't he?
It was a great move.
Look at this, damage for Schirmer.
Oh, no.
That means Hassan Debussy is through. Pino Frescaro and Guy Favre are together as well. We're on the final lap now. Just when we thought we couldn't throw any more drama at this race, there is plenty. Side by side they go into turn number 1. So this is Pino Frescaro on the inside, Guy Favre on the outside. Now Guy Favre is able to close the door. Can he get the car rotated through turn number 1? Yes, he can. So everything has changed in the space of, I mean, Arthur, you noticed that before even I did, as Mrs. Pino looks on at her husband and pushing Guy Favre for all his, this is for the final podium place, of course, so there's real pride up for grabs here, and Pino would love to be on the podium, so would Guy Favre. What we do know is that Hassan Debussy, it is going to be his best finish in the Ferrari Challenge ever.
Oh, nice.
If he takes this P2. Sven Schirmer is jumping out of the car. You can see in the split screen he's going to be really, really disappointed. I mean, he's won the championship, but
yeah.
Unfortunately the world final race has ended rather earlier than he would have liked. But here in replay, what happened, Arthur? Talk me through this.
He breaks a bit deep, then yeah, the other car close a bit. I mean, it was a bit tricky, a bit of wheel spin as well in the exit of the corner, and yeah, unfortunately he lost it. It's a shame because could have been a good move, but yeah.
It was just the breaking point was just different.
He was really confident on the brakes. We could see every time he was gaining a lot, and he tried something which he wanted to be in this P2. You could tell, and yeah, unfortunately, it ended up like this. It's a shame, but sometimes that's how it is.
The world final race for our Coppa Am drivers is won by Jan Sandman as he crosses the line. He is the world champion. Jan Sandman takes P1. Daniel Mancinelli will be beside himself with excitement as Hassan Debussy takes P2 and Guy Favre does take P3. It's Pino Frascaro got past Guy Favre. We didn't see the live pictures. There's Mrs. Pino, daughter Pino, and driver coach Babalus as well. So Sandman, Debussy, Frascaro, they are the 1, 2, 3. As a very disappointed and dejected Sven Schirmer makes his way through the garages. Jan Sandman is our champion in Finali Mondiali. And Pino Frascaro, how did he do this? No, surely not all the way around the outside here.
Oh
He's
my God.
Sideways, Arthur. What a move. That's the overtake of the day, isn't it?
This was a great move. 2 wheels on the paint as well, which is really slippery and really good car control. So yeah, it impressed me actually.
My goodness
I will
me.
invite him in my car, in a pro car. Next year.
Oh, awesome stuff. So well done to Jan Sandman. Oh, what were we saying at the beginning of the program? Motor racing can be brutal, but it can be beautiful as well, can't it? We've seen both today, haven't we?
Yeah, no, it was a great race, and once again, I want to congratulate all the drivers because they did an incredible job, especially in those conditions. People don't realize how tricky it is, and yeah, I mean, it was a great race to see.
It was a great race. I'm so grateful that you've been here to enjoy it as well. And also bring us your considered opinion, and it is considered, and I really think it's very, very kind of you to pass on your congratulations to all the drivers, because I agree. I think they are very, very credit-worthy in very difficult conditions. The man that mastered the conditions is this man, Jan Sandman. He was the bridesmaid in the championship, but he is the Finali Mondiali winner. He is congratulated. See whether we'll see Charlie Hollings in the picture. His driver coach, who's, as I say, very cool, calm, and collected. And the combination of Jan Sandman and Charlie Hollings seems to work really, really well. He'll remove his crash helmet and his hands device, head and neck support. That's what HAND stands for. Now this is going to be quite an emotional podium, I would think. Grande Pino. Just need a small crane to get out. Oh, look. I mean, this is wonderful. Wonderful to see. Congratulated by the family. And there is Hassan Debussy. What a fantastic drive from Hassan Debussy. Yeah, met him for the first time in the Winter Series a couple of years ago in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and Hassan said that he was going to come and race in Europe. And
that's good to see. It's his first podium, right?
It's his first podium this season.
Oh, nice.
It is his first podium this season.
You can understand the joy, and especially in those conditions, it was and the overtake. The overtake was really good. So yeah, they can be really happy.
Really big courage.
Yeah, really big courage.
Oh, you've got to have courage to do what he did, and he did it. Well done. All right, let's hear from our world final winner. That is Jan Sandman for Kessel Racing. He's down there with Ludovica. Let's hear from him now.
Jan, congratulations. More than a race, more than a victory, you are a champion.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we tried to do a perfect race today, and I think it worked out pretty well. Also the 2 restarts, and yeah, I'm just happy. And I'm even more happy that I see my good friend Hassan, also from Dubai, on the podium. Thank you so much.
Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Finali Mondiali race is a non-championship race, but it carries the pride of the world champion title. The cars all started behind the safety car because of the weather conditions. It was a great start, though, when the safety car came in, because Jan Sandman was able to gap the P2 driver Sven Schirmer, but unfortunately, before we'd even completed one lap, cars were going off, and finding the conditions were even more difficult than they had perhaps anticipated. Andreas Koenig regrettably making contact with the barriers. He was perfectly okay, but that brought out a red flag, and this was perhaps the one opportunity Sven Schirmer really had to get by Jan Sandman, but Jan Sandman was able to keep that P1 place. Now Guy Favet and Paolo Scudieri were having a battle, and Guy Favet going through. It was a super drive coming from Hassan Debussy in car 111 as well, as he was able to avoid some of those cars that were sailing and skating around the circuit. Lots of overtakes, lots of drama, lots of action throughout, as Alvaro Ramos in the 150 was going to find a way past the 303 machine, and did so well. Michael Owens for Ferrari of Alberta. Now, Andreas Koenig was already out of the race, but another Andrea Levy and Sven Schirmer, when fighting over P2, were in all sorts of trouble, which played, of course, into the hands of Hassan Debussy. And then it was the fight for the final podium place between Guy Favet and Pino Frascaro. Pino Frascaro taking to the outside and to the painted lines. He managed to make it stick. Jan Sandman would become the Finali Mondiali winner. P2 would go the way of Hassan Debussy, but Pino Frascaro, with a daredevil move around the final turn, would take the final podium place. Much to the delight of his family and his supporters, but Jan Sandman is world champion in Coppa Am for 2025. We're standing by for the podium then. Michele Mambelli to the right-hand side of your picture.
Con la prima finale mondiale, il podio finale mondiale, Coppa
I'm smiling because Michele has got this wonderful command of the English language, Arthur. And
Frascaro.
Here comes Pino Frascaro taking P3. Oh, look at this. There's the family.
Hassan Debussy.
A brilliant drive from Hassan Debussy to take P2. And the champion, the Finali Mondiali champion, is Jan Sandman. To the top step of the podium. Here comes the national anthem. Just had a slight heart-stopping moment here in our studio because we've had Arthur Leclerc with us. I suddenly said, hang on Arthur, are you doing the podium? But you're not, because another Ferrari factory driver, Lilu Radu, is doing the podium, so we're all right, friend.
It could have happened. I never check my planning. I'm always a bit late, so yeah, it's okay.
There's Alessio Rover up. He makes the presentation to Hassan Debussy, and Ife A, who I spoke to at the gala dinner last night, he makes the trophy to Jan Sandman, our new Finali Mondiali champion.
Please, driver, all on the first step of the podium with your trophy.
Up your trophy. Up, lift up your trophy.
Pino Frascaro with the trophy, okay, thank you so much. Immagini dal Mugello, prima finale mondiale.
Well done.
Alzate il trofeo, lift your trophy.
That's it.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, they're like small satellite dishes, aren't they? They're proper trophies, Arthur.
Please, official driver out of the podium. Please wait.
It's an original trophy. It's good.
The official driver of the podium.
He's looking nice.
And now
who's going to win the champagne race?
Without champagne.
It's Oh, let's get the top 3 cars then that deliver those results for the drivers. Taking P3 for Rosso Corsa Racing. Well done, Pino Frascaro. A great drive from the Formula Racing driver Hassan Debussy. He takes P2. And for Kessel Racing, the bridesmaid in the Coppa Chelam Championship, but when it came to the World Championship race, Jan Sandman was victorious. That's it. Our first Finali Mondiali race is done and dusted. Arthur, what a pleasure it's been to have you on the air with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you. It was a great race once again to watch and to comment. And yeah, hope to see you soon.
I hope so. And good luck for all your racing activities. Arthur Leclerc then delighted that the Ferrari factory driver was with us on the air. We are done and dusted until the next Finali Mondiali race. Thank you so much for watching Coppa Chelam live from Mugello. Bye-bye for now. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to Mugello, where you join us for our Finali Mondiali races. The world final races, all the pressure of the championships complete. Now it is just the world final titles that are up for grabs. Non-championship races, winner takes all, one races across our categories. That's what the Finali Mondiali races are all about. And it is our Shell drivers that take to the track for their world final race. And going from pole position will be Ray Acosta. It will be Oscar Rinčević alongside him on the front row of the grid. Then it will be Fabrizio Fontana and Jan Bernier. Cars all making their way round to the grid as we speak, as we give you our formal welcome to Mugello. Prancing horse flag is flying. A bit of wind around, 16 degrees. The track temperature, the air temperature, 15 degrees. About 23 kilometers per hour of gusting wind at the moment. So that's the way it looks. The conditions that all the drivers will have to face for their Finali Mondiali race. Of course, spectators making their way into the track because this is the final day of the Finali Mondiali weekend in terms of race activities. Means that there's a huge, huge Ferrari show to come later on today, of which I know nothing about. They won't tell me a thing. It's always kept as a closely guarded secret, but one thing we know is it will be big, brash, and full of surprises. There's Custodio Toledo wishing his buddy best of luck, and that's Ray Acosta who's sitting inside the car there. Custodio Toledo's done some fantastic racing this year, not in the Ferrari Challenge, but in other categories, and been hugely successful. And Ray Acosta has been hugely successful as well. He's based in North America. There's the boss of the Corsa Clienti Ferrari Challenge programs, Andrea Maladisic, talking to two racing drivers there. Dr. Stephen Earle with the white baseball cap on, and alongside him is the new Coppa Shell Am Finali Mondiali champion, and that is Jan Sandman. So Andrea Maladisic, head of Ferrari Challenge and Corso Pilota, down there on the grid in weather conditions which are probably a bit nicer than those that we anticipated, if we're honest with you. Weather conditions for this Finali Mondiali event have been really, really tricky, really tricky. Here is Jan Bernier, a driver of the 332 car for Ferrari of Seattle. Daniel Mancinelli, his driver coach, is talking to him down there, as you can see. And Jan Bernier with a lap time of 1:52, putting himself P4 on the grid for this race. And hi, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying the Finali Mondiali here at Mugello with Ferrari. And this is Fabrizio Fontana. He goes from P3 on the grid. And his driver coach, Stefano Guy, talking to Fabrizio Fontana ahead of the start of this race. Both Jan Bernier, Fabrizio Fontana, danger men from the second row of the grid. The start, I can tell you, is going to be behind the safety car because of the conditions. However, as you look from that high shot, it does look like the track is drying out. I wonder what tyre choice the drivers have gone with here. All cars must have rain tyres fitted. That's the information we are getting from race control. All cars have got to be on the wet weather tyres. This is Thomas Gostner going from P5 on the grid. And that's the first time I think I've seen that from race control. As Dr. Stephen Earle is wishing Oscar Rinčević best of luck. Stephen Earle is a Kessel driver, and so too is Oscar Rinčević. Yeah, so I think it's the first time I've seen a message from race control which says all cars must have rain tyres fitted. So as far as race control are concerned, the track is still wet, and they're determining that you've got to have wet weather tyres. Interesting. Ernst Kirkmeyer, he goes from P6 in the Kessel Racing 106 car. And more of our spectators here to enjoy the Finali Mondiali event. A great shot there of the paddock and village here in Finali Mondiali. On the left-hand side of your picture there, the big showroom, restaurants, exhibition areas. When Ferrari brings Finali Mondiali to town, it really does take over. It is an extraordinary event. Great Paul Nottingham driver is John Dillon. And there is John Dillon. I spent some time with him at dinner last night, with his family as well. And John Dillon taking P3 in the Coppa Shell Championship this season, and deservedly so. And there were times where you would certainly have thought John Dillon was potential for the championship win, but it's been a very up and down season, that's for sure. Ray Acosta going from pole position, Oscar Rinčević P2, then Fabrizio Fontana. Before we get this race underway, and I remind you that it will be starting behind the safety car, let's take a look at the highlights of what has happened on track prior to getting here. So as the cars were released then, see Manuel Agostner making her way out of the pit lane. Manuel Agostner, the new European Coppa Shell champion. This was Ernst Kirchmeier, very much out on his own. And on the pit wall then, as Manuel Agostner really pushing her 296 challenge car around this racetrack. Oscar Rinčević dealing with the traffic as best as he could in the 121 car, and of course he would end up qualifying P2. Now you can see here changes going on in terms of tyres because the conditions were changing, and some wet weather tyres coming off and maybe slick tyres going on. What drivers were prepared to take a gamble and take a look at this and to see where the crossover was. It soon became quite obvious that Brian Waltersdorf, certainly going from slick tyres back to wet weather tyres for Continental Autosports, realising that the crossover was still not really there in terms of what rubber was going to be best for the conditions out there on track. The driver that nailed it all was Ray Acosta in the 107 car that you saw in just the multi-red shades of Ray Acosta's car. It was von Skeltermar, driver of car number 177, breaking the timing beam and doing a good job in qualifying. And Ray Acosta, though, would be the best of the lot, driving the 107 car. He got the bit right between his teeth, and he would put it on pole position. Custodio Toledo down there, and Michael Acosta as well. So there we have it. Delighted to say alongside me, Nico Spalek. This is the world final race where all the pressure is off. It is the one race to become the world champion.
Well, you say, good morning, everybody. You say the pressure is off. It's equally on, because this is the one race where everything counts, every mistake is magnified, but also every great move, and we just saw an amazing move in the Shell-Ams. It's on for all these drivers, and a few, as we saw in qualifying, gambled a little bit, which puts the likes of Manu Gostner, John Dillon, and Ernst Kirchmeier way down the order, much further down than they have been on pace this weekend, or this week actually, so we expect a lot of overtakes to come. And you made the point, race control is making it an obligation to have rain tires. It's just a matter of safety. I think they will believe some drivers might gamble on the track coming to them, but obviously if you're out there in still wet conditions on slicks, it's a danger for everybody, and I think they just want to eliminate that risk for everybody.
I think you're absolutely right, and Claudio Garavini and his team will have mandated that all cars must have those rain tyres fitted. So, okay, let's hear right now from somebody very important across this Finali Mondiali weekend, Antonello Coletta.
Il 2025 per Corse Clienti è stata un'altra stagione ricca di soddisfazioni. Ricca di momenti esaltanti per tutti i nostri clienti. Il Ferrari Challenge è un campionato che si snoda su vari continenti, dunque Europa, America e delle Regional Series in UK, Giappone e Australasia. Tutte le altre attività però sono state anch'esse ricche di momenti esaltanti, perché abbiamo avuto gli sport prototipi con la 499P modificata che ha visto molte vetture in pista impegnate. Infatti sono molte le vetture che abbiamo consegnato e anche qui alle finali mondiali ne abbiamo una rappresentanza veramente importante. E poi abbiamo le attività XX con la 599, la FXX e la FXXK, che proprio qui, in occasione delle finali mondiali, celebrano il ventennale, perché sono 20 anni che ormai portiamo in giro per il mondo questo programma con tanti clienti affezionati. E poi Formula 1 clienti, che come sempre ormai dal 2021 ci accompagna in tutte le attività di corse clienti. La stagione Endurance non è ancora terminata, siamo ad una gara dal termine, però anch'essa è stata ricca di soddisfazioni. Abbiamo vinto per la terza volta consecutiva la 24 ore di Le Mans. Ci tengo a sottolineare una cosa importante: abbiamo vinto per il terzo anno con terzo equipaggio differente e con una terza vettura differente. Dunque 9 piloti, 3 vetture, tutti hanno vinto la 24 ore di Le Mans, meglio non poteva andare.
Global Head of Endurance and Corsa Clienti, Mr. Antonello Coletta, who he, with a huge team of people, make these Finali Mondiali events such extraordinary events. And delighted that you can join us here at Mugello for this Coppa Shell Finali Mondiali race. There the track unfolding in front of you, the Mugello track, and race start about to get underway. So, cars all lined up on the grid. There is the starting gantry. Start behind the safety car. All cars, mandated, have got to be on the wet weather tyres. So, as the cars are released then behind the safety car, we will see. I suspect that they will only do one lap behind the safety car, but I could also be very wrong in that. We will see. Of course, that will be a decision that race control will take. Start coming behind the safety car here. So cars are released. Now the race has effectively started. The clock counts down. Let's bring you the grid in full. Brian Waltersdorf goes from P17 on the grid. Then it's P16 for Lisa Clark, P15 for Andrew Parker. Then we see Chuck Whittle and Corinna Gostner on the next row of the grid. Mitchell Green, Manuela Gostner. And then it is Motohiko Isasaki and Fons Skeltermar, both of whom could be very dangerous drivers from there, I would say. It's Tibor Valent and John Dillon on the next row, with Ernst Kirkmayer going from P6 and Thomas Gosler going from P5. Jan Bernier and Fabrizio Fontana, P4 and P3. And then Oscar Rinchevich and Ray Acosta, who goes from pole position. Delighted to welcome back into the booth here Isaac Gillison. And before we speak to you, let's just hear from our pole sitter friend.
Qualification, I mean, it was unbelievable. Rain, dry, we went from wets to slicks. The track was just giving in, and you know, I put the lap in. You know, again, we have great competition here in Europe and the US, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow, a good race. Hopefully it'll be dry, and then the conditions will render to whomever is the fastest on the track. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray Acosta. He's going from pole position, as I said. Isaac Gillison joining us here on air. Delighted that you're with us here, Isaac. Of course, your discipline in racing and esports altogether different to this, but of course it's replicated really, really well. And these are very, very difficult conditions. You sometimes have to experience this in esports racing as well, Isaac.
Yes, racing is being adaptable, especially through these conditions. The track has been transforming the whole week with the rain. On Friday we had a nice and dry day, but the rain has been coming down Saturday and today as well. You can even see the safety car here is doing like rain lines as well. Okay. It's staying off the racing line. So that tells you that even the safety car at these moderately lower speed doesn't want to go onto the racing line because it's so slippery.
And that's something I find really, really hard to contemplate, and that is that the normal racing line, the dry line, if you like, is the one where all the rubber is. But actually in the wet, that makes it slipperier.
Exactly. The water stands on top of the rubber. Rubber is essentially oil.
So it seals.
Exactly. And oil and water don't go together. So it becomes extra slippery. And then the dirt on the outside of the track,
yes,
it makes it even more grippy. So you'll see the cars bunch up now for the restart. But let's see what lines the drivers will take into turn one.
Isaac Gillison, delighted that you're with us here on the air. Ray Acosta is stacking them all up, as Isaac suggested. That's what he's going to do. Now, Oscar Rinčević has got to try and anticipate when Ray Acosta is going to give it 100% on the loud pedal, because the safety car has come in. That means the race is about to get underway proper. And Ray Acosta has gone for it right now. Pretty good anticipation from Oscar Rinčević. It's going to be, well, really, really exciting going into turn number 1. As look at this, Oscar Rinčević has got some pace in that car. Where's he going to go? Inside, outside. Ray Acosta covers off the inside line, heading towards turn number 1. Oscar Rinčević is going to have to be so brave to try and take it around the outside. Jan Bernier is threatening Fabrizio Fontana. Oscar Rinčević on the outside line drifts wide, and around has gone Fabrizio Fontana. Good avoidance by almost every other driver, but he was caught by one. Ray Acosta stays P1. We've got another car which is beached in the gravel as well, and I regret to say that's probably going to bring out the safety car. John Dillon moving up the order as well. He's fighting with Ernst Kirkmeyer, but it is Ray Acosta from Oscar Rinčević. Then Jan Bernier is P3. Then is Kirkmeyer, Dillon, Valent, Skeltermar, and I think it is Thomas Gosner that we lost into the gravel in the green car. Maybe, but as I say, with the yellow flag at turn number 1, and we could see one car beached in the gravel, that's almost inevitably going to be a safety car. Jan Bernier in the 332 car, one of our North America competitors, who is in P3. And yes, safety car has been called for. It was Thomas Gosner. Actually, he managed to get the car out of the gravel, Isaac, but the car has stopped, which means obviously that's a safety concern. Can you spot anything there? But in fairness, look, never going to go anywhere, because the 333 car of Andrew Parker from Ferrari of Naples is beached. So that's the reason, isn't it?
Yeah, with a bit of damage on both cars. You can see here sliding in turn 1. You can see the cars moving around, and as soon as you start to get onto the paint around the white line here as well, the Italian flag is also slippery. You can see a car turned around there. It's there goes. Cold tires, cold brakes. It's so tricky to get that spin done. You're on the limit. Understeer goes into oversteer. That's the understeer snap oversteer sometimes you get. Especially in these conditions, very easily done. But now you see outside the sun has come out as well, so these conditions are ever changing and ever tricky for the drivers as well.
But you know what, Isaac? Behind us is our producer, Nico, here, who's got his eye on the weather radar as well. There is the potential that rain will turn up here in about 7 minutes.
No way.
I'm just saying. Like we need any more drama, do we? So we will see. At the moment, all the cars are on wet weather tyres. There's Dr. Stephen Earle, who is one of our Ferrari Challenge drivers as well, and he's from Texas in the USA, and races actually in the European series. So whilst we've got this safty car, Isaac Gillison, then, you are one of our top Ferrari esports drivers. Tell us about your campaigns and what you're doing.
So I've joined the Scuderia Ferrari esports team 2 years ago.
Yes.
And since then I've been privileged enough to compete for the Scuderia in several different esports championships, and that's on simulators like iRacing that you might know, Assetto Corsa Competizione, as well as now recently Le Mans Ultimate. Mostly driving the 296 GT3 and the 499P hypercar, which is always a pleasure to drive. It's so good. It's so good.
Yes.
I'm not complaining. I'm lucky to have this job and to give it my all for Ferrari in the virtual world. But it's really cool to see like what we are putting together in the virtual world is very applicable in the real world. And sometimes you see stuff happening in Formula 1 or in WEC, the Endurance Championship, that you're like, okay, maybe I should try that in the sim. And sometimes that works as well. Like for instance, these rain lines.
Wow. So there is a transfer, isn't there, between esports racing and real racing, and also vice versa too?
Absolutely. These simulators, they are trying to imitate real life as best as they can. Of course, within the simulators themselves, let's say iRacing, Assetto Corsa or Le Mans Ultimate, there are some small differences in the physics systems, in the tire system, so you have to be very adaptable in getting used to the driving style that is needed to be fast. So driving the 499P in iRacing might be a slightly different driving style than in Le Mans Ultimate. But that adaptability that we're talking about, that's what these drivers have to go through as well. Sunshine now, so maybe sunglasses on, and then rain in a moment as well, where they have to get used to maybe slightly different lines again.
What I find absolutely fascinating, and I remember earlier on this season talking to Ismail, another one of your esports drivers, who and the safety car is going to come in this lap, so I'll make it brief, but is how just how realistic the conditions are in terms of, you know, and the technology is amazing that they can completely recreate everything that these drivers experience as well.
Yeah, now so far it's gone as well that in some simulators you have a button for the weather that says forecasted weather, and then it will literally take the satellite data for the real track at this certain time, and it will try to simulate the weather that's going to be there in 1 hour on the real track and put it into the simulator. So it's getting ever closer.
Isaac, it's frightening. It's frightening. Right. Safety car coming in at the conclusion of this lap. Well done to the Mugello recovery team who have been able to recover those cars very quickly. Ray Acosta leading from Oscar Rinjovic and Jan Bernier. Then it's Ernst Kirkmeyer. So Ray Acosta, he's got to do it all over again. Stack them up and back them up. And try and get away from Oscar Rinjovic, who in turn, of course, will be trying to anticipate when Ray Acosta is going to give it 100% on the loud pedal. Everything can change and probably will before we even get to turn 1. Hold on to your hats or any other loose clothing you might have about you. This is going to be very exciting. From Ferrari Challenge, Coppa Shell, Finali Mondiali. Oscar Rinjovic could hardly be any closer to Ray Acosta. Ray Acosta has gone now, and he has caught Oscar Rinjovic napping on this occasion. So a great restart from Ray Acosta. Oscar Rinjovic is going to be under pressure, perhaps from Jan Bernier going into turn number 1, who in turn is going to be under pressure from Ernst Kirkmeyer. So Ray Acosta then leading the cars into turn number 1. 2 elevation changes on the start-finish straight here at Mugello. Who's going to be brave here? Ernst Kirkmeyer. Taking a look at the outside, it's never going to work, and into the gravel. Please keep your foot in, Ernst, and get to the grass so that you can get the car out. Tibor Valent has also gone in there, but we've got another driver, I think. Tibor Valent managed to get the car out, but another driver didn't. So Ray Acosta leading from Oscar Rinjovic and Jan Bernier, P3 right now. In fairness, Jan Bernier has got by Oscar Rinjovic, so it's P2 for Jan Bernier. We have got a yellow flag at turn number 1. I think it might have been Mitchell Green that went in, and we're going to get another safety car. Yeah, sure enough, it is the 379 car from North America of Mitchell Green, who has taken the championship in North America, and unfortunately he'll be taking no further part in this Finali Mondiali race. We have a saying in motor racing, Isaac, that safety cars sometimes breed safety cars, because of course everyone gets bunched back up again, don't you? You know, it's like the start of a race all over again, and that's precisely what we've seen here.
I think it's very much proving the saying. I think you could see this coming quite far away, because these cars on what you would normally call the racing line is what we've been talking about, ever so slippery with the rubber and the oil not mixing together with the water. And I've been lucky enough to go on passenger hot laps as well with Arthur Leclerc. It was exactly the same. He was trying to stay off the racing line, and as soon as we went onto the racing line, which is less grippy in these circumstances, 5th gear even, wheel spin.
Really?
It's been absolutely crazy. So you don't want to touch the racing line at all. It shows again there, braking into turn 1, maybe even earlier than before, but on the racing line you just go straight into the ABS, and then you just start sliding towards the outside.
There is Thomas Gosner out of the race. He's chatting there to Shintaro Akatsu, who is watching on. Interesting, you saying that you had a hot lap with Arthur, because Arthur was on the air with us in the previous race, and Arthur was explaining that he'd been doing some hot laps, and that he was just really reinforcing everything that you were saying, Isaac, that you know, it is so slippery out there, and really difficult for even drivers of talent like him and you. Forgive me, Isaac, you must be 7'8" tall. You're massive. You're a huge guy, a huge, great character, great talent as well. You are from the Netherlands, of course. You can tell that from that fantastic lilt in your voice, which I find so romantic. It's a lovely sound. Was this always the ambition? Was this always the dream of, you know, when you were going through school and things, I just want to be driving racing cars?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, this is the first time I've heard somebody describe the Dutch accent as romantic.
I was being polite.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that's, I mean, when you start out and see like I've been following Formula 1 since the days that Schumacher was battling Alonso in 05 and 06.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic, the V10s. We've got some of them here as well on track today and this week.
Yes, the F1 Clienti cars, they're wonderful, aren't they?
Absolutely, goosebump stuff. Just makes you fall in love with motorsport all over again. So it's been a passion of mine, and you would love to drive those kind of cars, but not everyone has the budget to do so.
Sure.
So then the easiest thing is to get your gaming console, buy a steering wheel, and try to simulate what it's like to drive these cars in the simulator. And what we've been talking about before is getting so close. Of course, you're not driving the real car, you don't get to experience the G-forces, but just doing it in the sim and doing it in a competition where everybody is really close, and most of these drivers that you're driving against in the sim have the same kind of passion and wanting to do it in real life as well. So it's it might not be real, the racing, but it definitely feels like it.
I think it is real. It's uber competitive. And we're delighted that you're with us here. Safety car is going to come in at the conclusion of this lap, and we are going to go back to racing. Ray Acosta has got to stack them up all over again. Jan Bernier right now is going to be the driver that will be trying to get the better of Ray Acosta going into turn number 1. And let's see how they do. Oscar Rinčević is P3, John Dillon is P4. We're on board with the Richard Mills safety car, and we will see how they do. This is fantastic. So Acosta, Jan Bernier, Oscar Rinčević and John Dillon. All the way through this grid, littered with talent. If the red colour bar is indicative of a driver's name, they are a European competitor. If it's blue, they are one of our North American competitors. Jan Bernier, certainly one of those, is P2 at the moment. He would dearly love to take the Finali Mondiali title back to the USA, and it's not without possibility. So hold on to your hats once again, because with, what have we got? Just under 15 minutes plus 1 lap. Ray Acosta, also a North American racer, but racing in Europe and competing in the Finali Mondiali race as a European competitor. He's going to round the final turn now. Look at this train of cars. When's Ray going to go? He's going to go now. I think good anticipation from Jan Bernier, to be honest with you. You have 2 elevation changes on the start-finish straight, and I think Jan Bernier has done this really, really well. Which way is he going to go? Inside, outside. As they head towards turn number 1 then. Jan Bernier's got the inside line here. Ray Acosta is in the middle of the track. Jan Bernier has stuck his nose. Is he going to be able to get the car rotated? No, not quite. Ray Acosta will go back underneath him. John Dillon takes a wider line. Von Skelterman trying to take advantage of that, but not able to do so. Valiant effort from Jan Bernier. He was able to save the car. I had so many concerns that whether he would be able to get the car rotated, whether he might just dip into the gravel, but great driving from Jan Bernier.
Absolutely, he was far on the inside, but that's where the grip is. Although your angle into the corner is then heavily compromised, he found the grip, but then because of the angle, he got washed out wide, back to the outside, and was not able to stick that move.
So already Ray Acosta has built up a margin of 1.258 seconds as he's trying to stretch his legs out front. Oscar Rinčević chasing down Jan Bernier. Von Skelterman chasing down John Dillon. John having just a little bit of a wobble there as the back end of the car got loose. And there is Tibor Valin being chased by Manuela Gosner. Manuela Gosner is the new European Shell champion, and she is currently running in that P7 position. So Jan Bernier, driver of the 332 car, engineered and looked after, of course, in the States by Ferrari of Seattle. His driver coach is Daniel Mancinelli, who's a hugely successful racing driver and has had a lot of success in the Ferrari Challenge in the past, and Daniel Mancinelli proving to be a great driver coach. And this was the move that Jan Bernier tried to make. What could he have done differently there, Isaac?
Difficult. He had to go late on the brakes to go ahead into the apex. Maybe try to be a little bit closer to Acosta in the middle of the track to have a better angle into the corner. But I think a good effort. Difficult because at some point you start to cross the racing line, and then inevitably you're going to wash out wide towards the outside. So I would say try to get back up to the rear of Acosta, but he seems to have a bit of pressure from behind now.
Von Skelterman and John Dillon have alternated places, and John Dillon trying to come back up Von Skelterman right now. P5 for Von Skelterman. It was P4 for Von Skelterman just a moment ago, but John Dillon has come through to pick up that P4 place once again, and They again break going into turn number 1, and John Dillon slightly wider, but is still able to keep his nose ahead of von Skeltema. And great when you can see that that high shot there, Isaac, because it really proves how different lines and how they work going through that turn, and certainly into this chicane as well. As Jan Bernier is really having to defend from Oscar Rinčević. Here's John Dillon, then JD, who finished P3 in the Coppa Shell Championship in Europe for 2025. And von Skeltema, one of the most photographed 296 challenge car because of the shark's teeth. And of course, he from your country as well, the Dutch driver, von Skeltema from the Netherlands.
Yeah, really good to see those shark teeth you do, or cool to see it from the broadcast, but I bet you don't want to see it in your rear view mirror, because it does look pretty daunting. Got a yellow flag in turn 2, exit turn 3. Let's see if we can keep green, but it doesn't look like it.
That, I regret to say, is Ernst Kirkmeyer, the Kessel Racing driver who's been victorious this weekend, but unfortunately he's not going to be victorious in this Finali Mondiali race. He is beached in the gravel, and that has brought out the yellow flag. Whether they will be able to, whether he's far enough away, the race control deem that actually it's not a problem where he is. So we will see. At the moment, not looking very, very likely. Now, just want to say here already, as the track is evolving, we are beginning to see just 1 or 2 track limit violations. We've got 1 track limit for von Skeltema, 1 for Corinna Gostner, and 1 for Brian Waltersdorf. So, and that's because this track is evolving, Isaac. As right now, forgive me, I invite you to answer, and just when I do that, Oscar Rinčević chooses to really take it to Jan Bernier here, but Jan Bernier has got the momentum and had got the adequate line to come out of there, but will Oscar Rinčević now try and get a toe off the back of the Jan Bernier car and have a go going into turn number 1? Let's see what we do. The live gap you can see there, Oscar Rinčević is definitely quicker, but who is going to be able to get through turn number 1? As Jan Bernier got it all completely under control, Oscar Rinčević is certainly very, very close, but Jan Bernier lives to fight another lap, I would suggest. So, Oscar Rinčević, I mean, I'm assuming that you suffer this in esports just as much as we suffer it in real racing, and that is the pressure of a driver behind you, constantly pushing you metaphorically and trying to encourage you into making just a mistake, a millisecond of a mistake.
Exactly, and especially in these conditions where you're not absolutely sure what line to take and exactly how much speed to carry through the corners. Having somebody behind you push you to your own limits as well, it's very difficult to cope with, but it seems like he is able to find a bit of a gap. We are completely green again, so the yellow flag has cleared on the exit of turn 2, so that's good to see. So he can overtake now on the full track.
Absolutely. So no one's going to be impeded in terms of speed going through that yellow flag area, as Oscar Rinčević's only thing that's impeding him at the moment is the car of Jan Bernier, but he's not been able to find a way by. And just behind, there's a real 3-way fight going on for P4 between John Dillon, von Skeltema, and Tibor Valint, who has gate crashed that party as well and wants to get involved. But we continue to watch this as Ray Acosta is up the road to the tune of just under 6 seconds here. This is the party that I was talking about. You can see some, there's just a little end plate flapping there as, whoa, Oscar Rinčević, how did he avoid making contact with Jan Bernier going into that final turn? They were so close. If you'd have welded the back of Jan Bernier's car to the front of Oscar Rinčević's car, it couldn't have been any closer. Wow, Isaac, amazing stuff.
Amazing, and like hats off to Bernier as well for holding on in these conditions. From what I know, the North American drivers have only experienced 2 wet sessions in their season. So having a full wet week at Mugello, maybe an unfamiliar track as well, and then being so high up on the grid is very impressive.
Yes, to be fair, Jan Bernier has raced a bit in Europe, and certainly the conditions you would suggest he is finding to his liking at the moment. Oscar Rinčević, who has come into the Ferrari Challenge this year. I first met Oscar in Navarra when he was racing in the first round of the UK Ferrari Challenge, which was held this year in Spain at Navarra. And could tell then that he was going to have a full campaign in Europe and he was going to be a lively character, and that's precisely what he's been. He's actually based in Edinburgh, in Scotland. which you'd never guess that from his surname, would you? But that is where he is based, and he has been a fantastic driver and a fantastic addition to the Ferrari Challenge, no question. Right, Jan Bernier soaking up the pressure like a sponge, and continuing to hold off Oscar Rinčević, with Jan Bernier running in that P2 position. Of course, he's got no hope of being able to get on terms with Ray Acosta, and the reason for that is, of course, his modus operandi is definitely defense. Two completely different lines there, Isaac, but both seem to work.
Yeah, they're starting to, what it looks like, to have a bit of a crossover between the racing line and the dry line now. Oh, that's close to the gravel, might be a track infringement.
Yeah.
But the racing line is starting to yield a bit more grip here and there by the looks of things. Of course, this part of this final sector has been resurfaced, so there's more grip there as well. Again, you need to be adaptable to find the grip there. But it looks like they're having to experiment with the lines. Is the racing line grippy enough, or do we need to keep it on the wet stuff?
Wet weather tyres, of course, work best when they are wet, and you will see drivers hunting for the water out there on track sometimes just to keep those wet weather tyres in their operating window. And going into turn number 1 right now, we see it from a completely different camera angle, and again, Oscar Rinčević taking a different line to Jan Bernier. I think they're trying to get a slingshot up the hill going into the chicane. Didn't quite work. I don't think he was quite close enough, and he is beginning to take liberties with the curbs, Isaac.
Yes, yeah. What you can see as well, drivers are starting to experiment as well. Where is the grip? Because clearly the lines are starting to yield more and more grip. There we go, just a normal racing line as you would do in the dry as well. Here again, taking a bit of curb, so it's starting to dry up. We did hear that there might be some rain coming in, so
don't think it has though, has it?
Not at the
moment. Not at the moment. But you might again. This 5.245 kilometers, the Mugello Circuit, with lots and lots of elevation changes, and it's fair to say, I think that's Mark Miller there, as we see a retirement for Fabrizio Fontana. What I was going to say is, with lots of elevation changes, conditions in one part of the track can be different to another, and actually it's not beyond the realms of possibility that you might see raindrops in one part of the track and not in another, as now Oscar Rinčević realizes with just 4.5 minutes remaining plus 1 lap, he is turning the pressure up still further, if that's possible, on Jan Bernier. What's really, really impressing me here, Isaac, is Jan Bernier, he ain't making errors, is he?
Exactly, and Rinčević is trying everything. What he's trying to do now is to put his nose alongside Bernier to try and force him on a different line than he actually wants to take, which is very smart. But let's see if he can make a move into the final corner. It doesn't seem to be close enough, maybe into turn 1 then. But you can see constantly different lines. This is fantastic to see what or where they are able to find the grip. I think if one driver is able to find the perfect line everywhere, there's so much time in it. But still, if you've got a car in front of you, very difficult to make that headway towards the front. And then there's seemingly a bit of a gap now as well between P1 and P2.
So Acosta leading by 6.7 seconds to the good over Jan Bernier and Oscar Rinčević. Then it is John Dillon and Van Skeltermaar and Thibaut Valent, who's Van Skeltermaar and John Dillon have broken away a little bit from Thibaut Valent, as Oscar Rinčević, I just wonder whether he's eased off a little bit, knowing that his time is running out. And you know, can you run behind these cars so closely for lap after lap after lap, or does that compromise the performance of your car and the grip that you have available? Are you sometimes better off just to ease off perhaps for a lap to give it another go?
I think in these conditions you're fine to sit behind for a while, although of course you're going to have a reduction in aerodynamic performance.
Right.
The car ahead of you is punching that hole in the air, which also creates a slipstream. So on the straight you're getting closer and closer on the edge there. But in a section like this where you need a high downforce, you want to put your nose just outside of the wake, the dirty air of the car behind or in front, to get that downforce on the front splitter and to get that rotation into these high-speed corners.
So pleased that you're with us on the air here. You give us so much information and valuable information, Isaac. Thank you so much. And well, Jan Bernier, I've been so impressed with how he has been able just to soak up the relentless pressure, if you will, from Oscar Rinčević, who has sat in this P3 position as Ray Acosta leads from Jan Bernier and Oscar Rinčević. And this is the battle that we've been watching the most, and quite rightly so, because this battle for P2 has raged on and on and on. It's played into the hands of Ray Acosta, who's been able to escape up the road. You can just see him there as we see the fight that's going on for P2 reach the final turn of this 5.245 kilometer Mugello circuit once again. And Jan Bernier, well, has just exiting the turn right now, and Oskar Rinčević is certainly not as close as he was. Will cross the line. I don't know quite when Ray Acosta crossed the line whether we're going to get the remainder of this lap plus one more, or whether it might be two more, but I think it's going to be just one more lap. Manuela Gostner here, the new Coppa Shell champion, and she's in a fight here with Chuck Whittle, I think that is, and Chuck on the inside. No, it's Tibor Valint, I beg your pardon. Tibor Valint driving the 132 car. Manuela Gostner P5, Tibor Valint is P6 at the moment. And Tibor going through on the chicane here. Is he going to be able to make this work? Manuela is quite rightly holding on to her track position, and she's allowed to do that. And Tibor Valint fighting really hard. Tibor, of course, father of Bence Valint, a talented young driver who drives prototypes now, but cut his teeth in the Ferrari Challenge, if you will. And Tibor Valint cut his teeth in the Ferrari Challenge many, many years ago. Look at this. Credit to these Ferrari Challenge drivers, Isaac. I mean, as close as they are driving there with not one touch between them.
Fantastic. This is what we love to see. Just give each other enough space. One car width is necessary, and just about that, but not pushing each other off the track. Very, very good to see. One thing I did see, oh, there we go. Move for P1.
This is for P2. This, Oskar Rinčević obviously had a go, didn't he? But you see the back end of his car is beginning to slide around a bit now. He's taken quite a lot out of his tyres in his quest to get that P2 position, and quite clearly he was having a go there and it didn't work. Hopefully we'll see a replay of that potential overtake, which didn't quite happen. So for the moment, Jan Bernier retains that P2 position, forgive me. Ray Acosta going through the final turn now. I think he's going to start the final lap, and it is going to be the last lap for Ray Acosta. He will start that when he crosses the timing line. We are into the plus one lap, if you will, as Jan Bernier and Oskar Rinčević then round the final turn, and Ray Acosta has just crossed the timing line, and sure enough, it's now or never, Isaac.
Exactly. He's running out of time. He's running out of braking zone and corners. Let's see, he's not gaining just yet, just about to gain now in the slipstream, but a little bit too far back, I would say, for a move into turn one. Bernier is putting his car in all the right places. You can see they're nice and controlled, so it will have to be a very, very late move if he wants to get past Bernier. Okay,
I mean, I have to say credit to both of them, because they have delivered entertainment over every single lap. And ironically, Ray Acosta, leading the race, has not set the fastest lap. The fastest lap in the race has come from Manuela Gostner, who's down there in P5. Oskar Rinčević, in terms of bravery in where he's tried to have a go in coming past Jan Bernier, well, he's not been able to do it thus far, and he's got the remainder of this lap as they run downhill now. The elevation changes here at Mugello almost encourage you to take a little bit more speed, but sometimes that can be that can penalize you because you're not optimizing your line. Jan Bernier has just had it all completely seemingly under control, and he's got this wonderful ability to be able to soak up the pressure and not make a mistake at all. And Oskar Rinčević has really tried to provoke as they go into the chicane now, almost side by side, but again, really respectful driving from both of them. They leave each other room and try very, very hard to keep it as clean and tidy as they can, as Oskar Rinčević sees a gap now and tries to make that gap 296 challenge wide. They're side by side. There is a little touch now, and again, Jan Bernier is able to soak it up. And Oskar Rinčević cannot seem to unsettle that 332 car ahead of him. Meantime, heading towards the checkered flag, Ray Acosta becomes the Finali Mondiali winner at Mugello. Driver of the 107 car, he is the world champion. And what has happened here? Because as we look, it's Oskar Rinčević has dropped right down the order. Jan Bernier takes P2. It's going to be Manuela Gostner, I think, that takes P3, or is it going to be John Dillon? No, it's John Dillon. JD takes P3 in the world final race. because there was a coming together through the final turn. And whilst we were watching Ray Acosta cross the line, quite rightly is the winner of the race, all sorts of other shenanigans were going on through the final turn. Isaac, what a race, friend.
Oh, I would like to see the replay of the final corner.
We will.
It did look, he was going for the move on the inside of Bernier. It just got away. Let's see here. Did he go for the move on the inside? He went on the outside. And then did he get the space? Oh, just in a bit too hard. Maybe there was a slight touch of content, but just in a little bit too hard, I think.
And then John Dillon, of course, had said thanks very much. He came through. And Manu Gostner came through as well. And Oscar trying to save it. I have to say, credit to Oscar Rinjovic, who threw everything at it. And do you know what? If you're not going to win it, then sometimes you can bin it. Because, sorry, I've been really wrong in saying that. But actually, do you know what I mean? He could not have done more.
It's the final race of the Finali Mondiali. You might as well leave it on track. I mean, he left a little bit of carbon fiber on track as well. But he threw everything at it. And fair play to both drivers as well. Final couple of corners, there was a bit of contact, but just enough to keep them both alive until the final corner. And unfortunately, then it ended a little bit in tears for Rinjovic. But I think he fought valiantly.
Yeah, he fought valiantly, and do you know what? Knowing Oscar as I do, he will be the first. He will be the first to offer congratulations to everyone else. He will have had a hell of a race, and he will have enjoyed it. Ray Acosta has done a brilliant job here, and let's see him out of the car here. The communications are disconnected. Belts are disconnected. And here comes Ray Acosta. David Fuminelli there. Carlo there. And Ray Acosta is a really enigmatic character, it has to be said. And I've had some fun with Ray in his racing, both here in Europe and also in North America. And he often says, Dave, I try and put on a show for you. And steady on, Ray. He's on the top of the car. He's certainly done that. Jan Bernier, so impressive. Daniel Mancinelli, there is his driver coach. Daniel Mancinelli, who's been a race winner in Ferrari Challenge, as well as many, many other categories as well. Coaches Jan Bernier, and John Dillon, JD, who is coached by Matt Griffin. He has taken P3 in the world final race, and that's richly deserved also. So, my goodness me. When are you coming back? Because you bring some drama to racing. You do.
Save the best for last.
Oh goodness me! There is John Dillon then removing his hands device and crash helmet. He has a podium in the final race of 2025. Well done. Right, it will be up to the podium next for our shell drivers. Finali Mondiali is done and dusted for them, and there's just the Trofeo Pirelli Finali Mondiali race to come. We do have, of course, the huge Ferrari show to come as well. And there is Ludovica just ready to pounce and try and grab Ray Acosta to get some words from him at the end of what was a hugely dramatic Coppa Show race. There is Casa Ferrari, the lounge for a lot of people up there at the top of the grandstand. And even after our gala dinner last night, Casa Ferrari was operational should you wish to go and be there until the early hours, which quite clearly as a professional broadcaster I couldn't do that. I had to head back for bed, you know. Like you believe me, Isaac. Right, I can see that Ludovica has got hold of Ray Acosta, the driver of this 107 car, driving for the collection and Ferrari of Miami. As I mentioned, he has raced pretty much all season long in Europe, which is why he competes in the Finali Mondiali as a European entry, if you like, but he's raced in North America as well. And his racing has just got better and better and better. And this weekend, I don't know whether it's the conditions have been to his liking, he has been almost unbeatable. Great job done by Ray Acosta. And we will be hearing from him in just a moment as Ludovica stands by.
Ray, congratulations. After an incredible pole position yesterday, you made a solitary race today and you win here at Mugello Circuit, and you are a world champion.
Thank you, thank you. want to first say thanks to my family back home, my friends here that are here, the AF team, amazing. Everybody, thank you for your support. The race was unbelievable. I'm glad that we all finished. Some of us didn't, but hey, we brought it home. We won. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We brought it home, and he did do that. Finali Mondiali race for the Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell drivers. Saw Ray Acosta on pole position and Oscar Rinčević alongside him. The start was going to be behind the safety car because of very challenging conditions. Well, immediately Oscar Rinčević was showing exactly what he wanted to do, and he meant business right at the start. Fabrizio Fontana went around, unfortunately. Thomas Gostner could not avoid the Fabrizio Fontana car, and Stefano Guy on the pit wall was disappointed that Fabrizio Fontana was going to be out, and he wouldn't be the only one. Ernst Kirchmeier finding the gravel trap as well. Whilst all that was going on, Ray Acosta was just escaping up the road, but Jan Bernier found himself in P2. Tibor Valint with a very physical move on Manuela Gostner going into the chicane, but Manuela would be able to come back. This was Lisa Clark and the car of Morihiko Isasaki going into the final turn. They would finish the race well, and look at that in terms of magnifying some of the action here in the highlights of the Finali Mondiali for Coppa Shell. Manuela Gostner putting one back on Tibor Valint, and John Dillon and Manuela Gostner, who had quite a fight in the championship all season long. However, the battles would continue a royal between Oscar Rinčević and Jan Bernier fighting over P2, and Jan Bernier would take P2. Ray Acosta would become the world champion, and then for P2 it was going to be Jan Bernier, but for P3 it would be John Dillon who was able to come through the carnage and take the final podium place. But Ray Acosta is the world champion. Michele Mambelli is the presenter that brings the drivers out on the podium. Here comes John Dillon. JD takes P3. Well done, John. Jan Bernier takes P2. And the world champion in Ferrari Challenge Coppa Shell is Ray Acosta. Here comes the national anthem.
Il nostro applauso, il nostro grande applauso ai vincitori.
Grand applauso, which means lots of applause. I've learned that much. Here comes Miguel Molina, Ferrari factory driver and top geezer. Miguel. He makes the P3 trophy presentation too. John Dillon. Niklas Nielsen is going to make the trophy presentation to Jan Bernier. Well done, Jan. And well done, Niklas. And then the P1 trophy to Ray Acosta is going to be delivered by Antonio Fuoco. Ray Acosta is the world champion. They're pretty impressive trophies, Isaac, aren't they? They're like mini satellite dishes. I mean, really, really good.
Thank you, guys.
Definitely.
Okay.
Here comes the photograph then. I have a little bet with you here, Isaac, as I thank you for being on the air with us. The man that is going to win the champagne race is going to be Ray Acosta by a country mile. Oh my goodness, how wrong could I be? It's John Dillon upholding the British end of things, you know, when it came to the champagne and taking a good old slug of it. Well done. John Dillon takes P3 for Formula Racing, driving that 151 car. almost a sponge-like. Jan Bernier soaked up so much pressure in the 332 car, but was not at all impacted or affected by it. Bring it on, he said, and he held on to that P2 place with credit. But driving an extraordinary race, it was the collection driver Miami, Ray Acosta, who was victorious in the Coppa Shell Finali Mondiali. Well, there we have it. Finali Mondiali done and dusted for Coppa Shell. Just Finali Mondiali to come for Trofeo Pirelli and Trofeo Pirelli. Isaac, huge thank you to you for being on the air with us, and best of luck for the rest of your wonderful motor racing career.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here, Dave, to share the commentary booth with you, and had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Isaac, and thanks to everyone for watching, and make sure you join us for the Pirelli and Pirelli Am World Final Race. Bye-bye for now.